All right, fantastic. So I want to welcome everybody to our goal setting and achieving Zoominar here tonight. And I'm excited. I'm excited because it is the new year, right? Happy New Year to all of you. And I hope that you've already made up your mind that this is going to be your year. I hope you already decided. Remember, the word decide ends in "icide," like homicide or suicide. So when you truly decide something, it means it's the death to all other options. So I really, truly hope that you have decided already that this is going to be your year. This is going to be the year that you make the turn, you turn the corner, you get out and you accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, that you harness, the power of what we have available. And whenever something comes to an end, a lot of people hate the endings, right? Whether it's whatever it is, something comes to an end. But I've learned over the years to be excited about an ending, because for every ending, there is always a new beginning. And while so many people are always focused on, what is coming to an end, and they're sad about it or depressed about it or whatever, I choose to focus on what is to come, right? What is the future hold? Because I've also learned that we can determine our future, right? It's all in the choices that we make and the things that we do. So as we do this goal setting and achieving session here tonight, and I want to point that out, that it's not just goal setting. We're going to talk to you about how to set your goals and help you get your goals set, but we are also going to talk to you about how to actually achieve those goals that you set here tonight. And hopefully by the time we're done here tonight, you're going to have, if not your goals set for the year, at least a good solid foundation for those goals set for the year. So I hope you have a new notebook. I hope you have a pen, and I'm going to be doing this with you. I'm not just going to walk you through it. I'm going to be doing this with you. So when we get done here, I've been working on mine and stuff for a few days, but tonight is when we're going to actually do things. Now, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Bill Guyther, and I live out in a little town called Lowell, North Carolina. I've been an entrepreneur now for over 2 decades, 22 years actually. It's been since myself or my wife have had a traditional job. And I got to tell you guys that a lot of that, the fact that we've had that luxury is because we have done what we're doing here tonight every year, ever since I decided to become an entrepreneur. I mean, I got over the top about setting goals and achieving goals, and I learned it, and I learned from some of the best in the industry about how to go out and make that happen. So, I've started many different businesses. I'm an author. I've authored a couple of different books, which I recommend if you haven't read them, that you get online and read them. I mean, that's a shameless plug, but you definitely should read them, especially, this year, if you're going into the new year. I've started a couple of internet businesses. I've started a couple of traditional businesses. I mean, I am just what I call a serial entrepreneur. There's just no way I could ever be employed by somebody else today. I've learned too much in order to be an employee. Now, if that's where you are, that's okay. I'm not knocking that in any way. I will say this: I've very rarely, if ever, met an employee that was wealthy. Okay, so if you want to get financially wealthy, it's probably not going to happen in your W-2 job. You have to figure out something else, and maybe we can be some assistance to that down the road. But tonight we're just talking about setting and achieving goals. So that's who I am. We've done fairly well financially. I'm not going to get into all that, but we have a really good residual income coming in. We've made pretty good money over the last 2 decades. And I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people be able to take care of themselves and become entrepreneurs and get out of that trap of the job and stuff like that. So that's who I am, and I'm just going to be sharing with you tonight and doing with you, participating with you on how to set and achieve your goals. And I'm just looking at my notes here to make sure that I don't miss anything. So again, new beginnings, right? This is a new chapter in your life, and you get to author this chapter. As a matter of fact, you have the authority to author this chapter. And I say that because I want you to understand that the word author is in authority, right? So you have the authority to author this chapter of your life and take control of it. And it's all in the little choices that you make, right? That seem to make no difference at all. There's a saying called the slight edge or the compound effect, that it's the little things that we do that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing it, but compounded over time will lead to your success or your failure, right? And that's what we do. We make all these little choices every day, whether it's what we're going to have for breakfast, what we're going to have for lunch, where we're going to go, what time we're going to leave, what time we're getting up in the morning. Are we going to shower today in the morning or in the evening? We make a thousand little choices, and not that you're going to be able to consciously know about all of them, but if you can consciously know that you're always making little choices, it will help you make better choices. All right. So, well, my phone here just went, there we go. All right. So let's talk a little bit about your goals versus like resolutions, because this is the time of year where people resolve to do things, right? Their New Year's resolution. We've heard that. I always like to tell a story about my daughter Kylie, who's on here now. She's 20 years old now, but I remember back when she was about, I'm going to guess probably around 10 or 12 years old. We were driving down the road, and my wife got a phone call from one of the youth pastors of our church, and she was trying to reach Kylie, and my wife handed the phone back to her, and I couldn't hear what the young lady on the phone was saying, but she obviously was talking to Kylie about her New Year's resolutions. And my 10 or 12-year-old daughter stops her and says, "Well, I don't really have resolutions. I set goals." And I remember it at that point, a 10, 12-year-old telling a young adult, 22, 24-year-old, "I don't have resolutions. I set goals." And guys, resolutions are made to be failed. I mean, that's what they are. I mean, right now everybody's gonna do all the stuff. They all join the gym. I mean, gym membership sales are up through the roof right now, higher than they've ever been. If you go to the gym for the next 30 days, you'll be lucky if you can get to the machines you want to get to. But if you wait about 60 or 90 days, you'll be able to fire a cannon through that gym and you won't hurt a soul, right? Because they give up, right? But a goal is different. A goal is something that you're intentional about, right? And you have to understand that your success is intentional. You cannot succeed unintentionally. You have to have and be intentional in order to succeed in having the success that you want to have, okay? Now, there's usually 4 different types of goals that people want to set. Now, maybe I'm missing one, but for the most part, there's 4, and there are 4 F's. Okay, so if you want to write down the 4 F's, and I think they should be in this order personally, all right? And this is the way I follow them. Your first goal is your faith, right? Everybody's got to have faith in something, whether you have faith in God, faith in the universe, faith in the process, faith in something, okay? So that's the first goal that people are always working on, faith. Your second one, faith, your family, okay? Your family or your relationships, right? You always want to, be a better parent, be a better spouse, be a better sibling, be a better boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever, right? So that's your second one. First one's faith. Second one's family. Your third one is your finances, right? I mean, I don't think anybody goes into a new year and says, "I really like to make less money this year than I did last year." I don't think that happens. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I have never personally said that. Okay, everybody goes into the new year going, "I'm going to make more money this year than I made last year. I intend to. I want to," right? And this is where we're all at. We're going to this new year. We want the new things. And the last one is your fitness or your health. Okay, your fitness or your health. Right? That's one that I always struggle with. I'm overweight. I'm always talking about losing weight and being healthier and stuff like that, okay? So those are the 4 things: faith, family, finance, and fitness. All right, those are the 4 things. Now, as you're writing your goals, and this is a key, okay? This word I just gave you, writing. Okay. I know we live in the digital age. I know you have a smartphone you can type on. I know you got a computer and a keyboard and Word that you can make a document on. I know you can talk to text and you don't have to do, but there is something magical about writing. Okay. Your goals need to be written. I hope you have a new notebook for this year that you're starting this in, but if not, that's fine. But as long as you are writing, there's something magical that happens because your thoughts are things. And if you have thoughts, and I think everybody does, I think everybody like has a plan in their mind on what they want to accomplish. Might be a whole life plan that they have in their mind on what they want to accomplish. But if it's only in your mind, guys, it's just a hope. It's just a dream. Okay. You need to make it real. You need to make it tangible. And the way you do that is with a pen and a piece of paper. You take that thought that's in your mind and you let that thought travel from your mind and down, through your neck and through your shoulder and through your arm and all the way into that pen. And from that pen onto that piece of paper. Okay, you have just birthed that thought. You have made it real. And you just don't get that from the digital typing, texting, stuff like that. So go back to old school, written goals. So all your goals, number one, need to be written. Okay, if you don't have them written, guys, they're really just a dream. So you got to write them down. Okay, second thing. They need to be present tense, right? Written like it's already been done. Okay, present tense. So written like it's already happened. And I'm going to go through this with you here in just a minute. We're going to show you. Okay, number 3. I can't stress this one enough, guys. They have to be very clear and very specific. Okay, very clear and very specific. Why is this important? Well, because when you make this a reality, thoughts are things, right? I mean, it's already proven. I'm going to mention this some more, but there's a movie, if you haven't watched it lately, or if you've never seen it, it's called The Secret. Okay, it's about a 90-minute documentary. It used to be on Netflix. I know it's on YouTube now, but it's called The Secret. And you really have to watch this movie. Like, you have to. It's going to change your entire life. I would watch it with your children if I were you, if you have children. Okay? It's so important. But it proves in that movie that thoughts are things. They can actually put electrodes on your mind, and as you have thoughts, that it sends off a signal. Right? They've done it with athletes that, athletes train and they run on a treadmill and they check their heart rate and stuff, and then they sit them down in a chair and they put the electrode and they get them shutting their eyes and thinking about that same exercise. Guess what? Their heart rate does the same thing. Okay, so thoughts are things. So you have to make sure that your goals are very clear and very specific, because when you have a thought and you put it out there, the universe or God or whoever is going to answer and respond to those things, right? Have you ever had a situation where you thought of an old friend that you hadn't talked to in a while, and then like out of nowhere that day or the next day you get a phone call or a text from them, and you're like, wow, I just thought about you yesterday. Guys, that is not a coincidence. That happens because thoughts are things. Now let me give you the example that I want to give you on how important this is. And I know my friend Brian Paleo that's on here had a similar situation with his wife. Maybe he'll share that story. But many years, not many, probably about 5 years ago now, one of my goals was to lose 60 pounds. I was at my highest weight of 360 pounds. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong, I was fat. But in my defense, I am 6'5". I'm a fairly large guy, not just fat. Okay. So, but I wanted to lose. I was at the highest weight I'd ever been. I was like, I need to lose 60 pounds, at least get back down to 300. So I wrote that in my goals, right? And my goals were very specific, very clear. I am so happy and grateful that I lost 60 pounds by December 31st, whatever it was, 2017. Right? Well, guess what? I did lose 60 pounds that year. I achieved my goal. However, the way that I achieved it was not a part of my plan. The way that I achieved it was I became diabetic and I got sick and I lost 60 pounds. But see, I didn't say how I was going to lose the 60 pounds. I was not clear on how I was. So I should have said, I'm so happy and grateful that I lost 60 pounds by eating right, making healthier choices, working out daily by December 31st, 2017. But I didn't say any of that. All I said was, I'm so happy and grateful that I lost 60 pounds by December 31st, 2017. Okay. So you have to be very clear, very specific. Okay. There has to be a deadline attached. Has to be a deadline attached. You can't just haphazardly say, hey, I'm going to do this without saying when you're going to have it done by. All right. So those are the important things. They have to be written. They have to be present tense. They have to be very clear and specific, and they have to have a deadline attached. Okay. You guys with me? All right. Now, I want you to write this phrase down. You just heard me say it. I am so happy and grateful that. I am so happy and grateful that. See, that should be the start of every one of your goals. That should be the start of every one of them, right? I am so happy and grateful that, and then you just go on and you make sure that whatever continues from there, that it's written, that it's very clear and specific, and then that phrase is going to make it present tense, and that it has a deadline attached to it. Right. So I am so happy and grateful that I lost 60 pounds by, choosing healthier foods and exercising daily by December 31st, 2023 at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Right. That's how clear and specific it should be. Okay. And you can do that with every single one of these categories. So here's what I want to do. I want to take a minute. We're going to take 1 minute for each one of these. Okay. And I want you to go ahead and write down, I am so happy and grateful that. I am so happy and grateful that. Now I want you to finish that statement with a goal for your faith. Okay. I am so happy and grateful that, and I'll finish it up.
This is for faith, Bill. Is that correct?
Yes, faith. We're going to go through all four of them. I want you guys to have at least one goal written for each one of these, okay? All right. So I am so happy and grateful that. I'll read mine to you. If anybody else wants to read it when you're done, that's fine. But I just wrote, I am so happy and grateful that I have built a much stronger relationship with God and have given it all up to Him by January 30th, 2023 at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? That's my faith goal. Because so many times I forget that He is there for me. So I want to remind me, I want to know that deep down inside all the time. All right. Does anybody have a faith goal that you wrote down that you'd like to read? Don't feel like you have to, and we don't have to have it. If anybody would like to share, we can. Just raise your hand or unmute yourself. Okay. All right. So the next one then is going to be family. So again, I am so happy and grateful that. And write one goal for your family or relationships. You know, maybe you don't have a relationship. Maybe you're so happy and grateful that a relationship showed up for you this year, or that a relationship was rekindled, or a new spark was put in a relationship that, you know, that wasn't there. Or, I mean, everybody's different, right? All right. So I'm doing this with you. So here's what I wrote. I'm just sharing this with you guys. Okay. I'm going to be transparent with you guys today. I am so happy and grateful that each day my family and friends love me more because I work daily to show them what they truly mean to me beginning January 1st, 2023. Okay. Does anybody have a family goal you wrote down you'd like to share? Ava, you got your hand raised?
Bill, I have a question
Sure.
regarding these goals. So what if your family goals are multiple? Like,
That's fine.
so
I
would
just
it
want
be
you to
like,
write, you can write multiple goals for any one of these guys. I just want you to write down one for right now. So we have at least one for every category.
so you don't put them all in one bucket, you separate them out?
That's entirely up to you. If you feel like they fit and you can put them all in one big goal, then feel free. If you need to break them into separate goals, that's okay too.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So we got faith, we got family. Third one is finances. Finances. Okay. So it's, I am so happy and grateful that. All right. So I am happy and grateful that. Here's what I wrote. I am so happy and grateful that I earned over $500,000 by December 31st, 2023 from my current businesses, from my current and future businesses and ventures. Okay. Anybody have a financial goal you'd like to share? Okay,
I'll go.
go ahead, Matt.
I am so happy and grateful that I am making $8,000 a month by June 30th, 2023.
Okay. Now, you may want to be more specific how. Put some thought into that, how you're going to make that 8,000, right? Because, I mean, it would kind of suck to put that down and then have a loved one in your family die, and now you're getting an $8,000 a month stimulus from what they left you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, guys, the universe has a funny way of making things happen. All right, good stuff. Okay, and the last one.
That was great. That was
go ahead,
great.
Ava.
That was great, Matt. I learned a lot from you speaking forward and to keeping understanding to keep it specific. For me, it's hard for me to even think like sometimes that I can wrap my head around that I deserve these things, right? So if I can put them down there, have it be specific, and then just let the universe take over, I think it's really helpful and inspiring for me. Thanks.
All right, good stuff. All right, so the last one, the fourth F, is fitness. So I am so happy and grateful that, and finish it up. All right. So hey, Elizabeth Judy, good to see you sneak in there. All right, so so the fitness I wrote, I am so happy and grateful. Guys, I'm being so transparent here. This is embarrassing for me, but I'm going to do it anyway. I am so happy and grateful that I haven't smoked a cigarette for 30 days as of April 1st, 2023. And that I have taken control of my blood sugar by making daily healthy food choices by June 30th, 2023. Okay. So, I mean, I have some work to do. You know, these are not easy. Guys, setting goals is easy. Achieving goals, right? Achieving goals is the hard part. And we're going to talk about that. Okay. So that's some of my fitness goals. Anybody have a fitness goal you want to share? Go ahead, Brian.
That I will, I'm so happy and grateful that I have completed 75 hard by March 18th, 2023, and that's 75 days from tomorrow. So.
All right, fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, now you can go back now and you can add to your goals. You can expand your goals. You can make them more clear, more specific. Put more under each category, like Ava was talking about. But now at least you have one of each. You have a foundation to start working from, right? Guys, if you're building a house, what's the first thing you put down? The foundation. Okay, this is your foundation. And you have that in place. All right, so now we've done that. But now we want to work on your subconscious mind to help you achieve these, right? Because the subconscious mind is important. The subconscious mind gets things done in your life that you don't even know it's doing it. You don't even know it's happening. Okay, so you want to work on that. How are you going to do it? First off, once you have your goals all done, right, completed, written, and you're like, okay, these are good goals for the year, you feel good about them, the first thing you need to do is post them. I don't mean on your social media, I mean around your house. Okay, make copies of them, take pictures of it, whatever. Back in the day, Matt Curry is a good friend of mine. He can tell you, he's known me 22 years doing this. Back in the day, I got so over the top, you know, eccentric about this. If you came to my house, you opened my fridge, my goals were hanging right there. If you walked in my bathroom and looked at the mirror, my goals were hanging right there. If you got in my car, taped to my steering wheel, is my goals right there. Okay, you want to put them everywhere so when you turn around, you see them, you're reminded of them, and there's no way you can forget them. Okay, if you want to have success, if you want to, you know, overachieve, you're going to have to go over the top. You can't just keep doing the regular every day and expect to get something different or better. You got to make some changes. So post them. Number two, declare them. Guys, I'm recording this and I read to you every one of my goals, as embarrassing as some of them were, because I understand you have to declare them. So you all know now what my goals are. You all know now what I need to be held accountable for. Right? Somewhere down the road, you guys will be like, Bill, when's the last time you smoked a cigarette? Hey, how's things going with your blood sugar? What'd you have for lunch today? Right? I know you guys are going to put me in check because I know who you are. So you have to declare them. Let people know what your goals are. Don't be scared of your goals. Don't be scared what other people think of you. They are your goals, not theirs. Okay? And then this is a Bill Guyther original tip that I don't think you're going to get anywhere else, but I'm going to tell you will change your whole life. Is once you have these goals all written and solid and clear, and you know that this is a good set of goals, you want to grab your phone, you want to open up the voice recorder app, and you want to record yourself reading your goals out loud. Okay? Once you have that recorded, you want to listen to that until it is so ingrained in you that I could wake you up at 3 in the morning and say, what is your fitness goal? And it would spit right out of your mouth immediately. Because if your subconscious brain thinks it's already happened, guess what? It's going to happen. So it's a great little trick to hear yourself, you know, reading your goals, to hear yourself stating your goals. Listen to them in your car. If you're at your computer at your desk and you can put them on low and just let them play. Turn them on at night when you go to bed and let them play. So while you're sleeping, they're getting drilled into you. And guys, I'm telling you, the results of that will shock you. It's a little bit eerie, actually, how much it will take hold. So do that. All right, now, any questions on any of this? Because that's all the goal setting part. Now I want to talk to you about achieving those goals. So any comments or questions before we move on?
Bill, I've done a lot of goal setting and I love your last tip. I love the idea of listening to them over and over again.
I'm telling you, Joel, I did this. I started doing this probably 10, 12, 15 years ago. It changed the whole game. Changed the whole game.
Bill,
It's
what
amazing.
if you're in the middle of the year, you already achieved your goal? Can you set another goal?
Most definitely.
Okay.
You actually have to.
Okay.
I have a
Yes.
question, Bill.
Sure, go ahead, Elizabeth.
I'm wondering about habits that we stumble over and we can't reach that goal because we've got habits. Habits, good or bad, you know, can really either be great or a real detriment to what we're trying to do. So do you have
Habits
any
are
suggestions.
If you've never done it, I'm not going to pull it up tonight, but write this down and Google it at some point. But Google the habit poem. If you've never read the habit poem,
Okay.
because they do absolutely control us. But here's the great news about habits is we can control them too, right? If we know what they are, you can change your habits in 21 days of doing something consecutive for 21 to 30 days. You can create a new habit. So if you identify a habit that's not beneficial to you, then you have to take charge of that. You have to work hard on it for 21 to 30 days, but then it will become a new habit.
Awesome.
Okay, so absolutely, but habits are very detrimental or beneficial depending on how you're using them, and that goes back to what I said in the very beginning about the slight edge or the compound effect. That it's the little things that we do that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing them, but compounded over time will lead to your success or your failure. Right? I mean, I know like health and fitness is a good one. If Brian is eating a salad every day for lunch and I'm eating a Big Mac every day for lunch, on day one, there's not going to be a whole lot of difference. If we're doing that every day for a week, in a week, there's not a lot of difference. In a month, there's probably not a lot of difference. But if Brian's eating a salad every day and going to the gym every day for 6 months, and I'm eating a burger every day and laying on the couch every day for 6 months, in 6 months, there's going to be a difference. Right? In a year, there's going to be a real difference. So it's the little things compounded over time. All right, so let's talk about achieving your goals. Now you've got your goals ready. You know what you want to accomplish. So now you have to begin with the end in mind. Right? You have to begin with the end in mind and work backwards. Okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say, for example, and I'm going to just use round numbers to make it simple. Let's say your goal is to make $120,000 this year. $120,000. Okay? That's what you want by December 31st, 2023 at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's the end mark, right? So now you got to work backwards. Okay, well, $120,000 a year, that's $10,000 a month, right? So now I got to make $10,000 a month. Well, $10,000 a month is $2,500 a week, right? $2,500 a week. Well, $2,500 a week, if I'm just doing it 5 days a week, is about $500 a day, right? If you're doing it 7 days a week, it's a little more than $300 a day, like $350 or something, right? I don't know the math off the top of my head. But it breaks all the way down to what you have to accomplish today, right? And now you have to start asking yourself how, right? Now you've said, I want to make 120. You broke it down to monthly, weekly, daily. Now I need to be making $350 a day. How am I going to make $350 a day, right? And you got to how yourself, right? How am I going to make $350 a day? Well, on my job, at whatever dollars an hour, I make $200 a day. Okay, well, that leaves you short $150. How are you going to make that other $150 a day? Well, I don't know. I'm going to go pick up stuff that people post on Craigslist and the marketplace for free, and I'm going to sell it. Or I'm going to get a side gig and I'm going to make $150 a day with my side gig. Or I'm going to, and you have to come up with a plan, right? But how? How am I going to get there? If you're losing weight, it's like, hey, I want to lose 60 pounds this year. Okay, 60 pounds this year. If you break that down, that's about 5 pounds a month, right? If you break that down, 5 pounds a month, that's about 1.25 pounds a week. Oh, well, 1.25 pounds a week. Well, that means I need to lose, and you break that down to divided by 7, whatever it is, 0.3 of a pound a day. And you want to get it down to that daily factor, right? Because here's the thing, guys. Everything boils down to the a day factor. You can have a monthly goal, 6-month goal, annual goal, 5-year goal. But if you don't know what you have to do every day and you don't accomplish it every day, you're not going to make any of those goals. You have to know what you're going to do every single day. And then you just have to accomplish it that day. Okay? If I need to lose 0.3 of a pound every day, how? How are you going to lose 0.3 of a pound? Well, I'm going to eat a salad with Italian dressing instead of a dressing full of sugar, right? A vinegar-based dressing, and I'm going to exercise for 15 minutes. Okay, I'm going to do that every day. What do you think? If you did that every day, you might lose 0.3 of a pound. You might lose 5 pounds a month. You might lose 60 pounds by the end of the year. Sure. But if you don't do that every day, right? If you do it every day, here's the great news. If you meet your daily goal and you know what your daily goals are, and if you meet that daily goal every day, guess what? You're going to meet your weekly goal. Guess what? You're going to meet your monthly goal. You're going to meet your 6-month goal. You're going to meet your annual goal. You're going to meet your 5-year goal. You just have to know and do what you have to do every day. It is the day factor, okay? As we close out, what do you do on a daily basis? And I want to give you this. First off, when you wake up in the morning, at whatever time you wake up in the morning, I recommend that you have no interaction with electronics for at least the first 30 minutes of your day. Don't wake up in the morning, grab your phone, check your email, check your Facebook, don't even touch your phone. Don't go to your computer. Okay, for at least the first 30 minutes. If you can do it for an hour, even better. Okay, but don't touch your electronics for at least 30 minutes. Instead, grab your notebook and your pen and sit down and journal for about 10 minutes. What do you want to write down? First off, you want to write down every day what it is you need to accomplish every day. Hopefully you begin with the end in mind and you know every day what it is you're supposed to accomplish. Okay, so you write that down, you reiterate that, what you're going to do every day. Get that to-do list in place. Okay, also write down 3 things. You can write down more, but at least 3 things that you're currently grateful for. Okay, an attitude of gratitude. Guys, you cannot open yourself up to receive more until you are first grateful for what you have. And I know, and I'm looking at the screen, I know each of you on here pretty much personally, we all have things that we're dealing with in life. But you know what? We also all have things that we really need to be grateful for. And when you have that attitude of gratitude, it makes a big difference. Okay? So that's the second thing. Write down at least 3 things every day. Do this every day, at least 3 things that you're grateful for. And then the last thing, well, not the last thing, but one of the last things is meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. Meditate for 5 to 10. Now, maybe you're going, well, I've never really meditated. What does that mean? What does that look like? Okay. Here's what I want you to do right now. Put your pen down for just a second. Okay. I want you to choose one of your goals that you wrote down. Any one of them. I don't care, faith, family, finance, fitness, but just look at one of them and think about that particular goal. Now I want you to shut your eyes for just for 60 seconds. Shut your eyes, and I want you to really think about that goal. I want you to think about what it's going to feel like when you've accomplished that goal, right? If that goal was to lose weight, what's that going to look like and feel like in your life when people are coming to you and going, man, you look great. How much weight have you lost? You look so much healthier. Stuff like that, right? Feel that. What does that feel if your goal is to make X amount of dollars? What does your life look like? How do you feel? What are you doing with that money when you accomplish that goal? Right? And that's what meditation is about. Okay? Meditation is about being able to go from a thought and a goal written to a feeling of what it's really like. Because when you can feel it on every level of your being, it's inevitable. You couldn't even stop it if you wanted to. And I'm sure each of you at some point in your life, you know, you had a feeling you were going to do something. You just knew you were going to do it. You had no idea how you were going to do it, but you just had a gut feeling and a drive and a determination that I am going to do this, whatever this was. And guess what? All of a sudden, the universe or God or whatever you want to call it just lines everything up and boom, you got it done. Right? But it's that feeling. The thoughts are things, but when you feel it, you can't stop it. So just take 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes every day. Do your journal, you know, write down the things you got to get done today, write down at least 3 things you're grateful for, and then, you know, take 5 or 10 minutes and just imagine what your life will look like when that goal is accomplished and feel it. Because once you start to feel it, it's over then. It's done. And the very, very last thing I want to give you is choose to be happy. Choose to be happy. There's some miserable people out there in the world. You've met them. You say, how are you doing today? And they actually tell you. Right? You're like, oh, I didn't really mean that. It was just, you know what I'm talking about. You guys have all met them. Right? This is why I don't say, how are you today? I always say, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Right? But if you ever, and many of you on here know me, if you, even tonight when people were joining, how are you doing today? Hey, I'm fantastic. I am always fantastic. I am always great. I am always wonderful. Somebody said, how was your New Year's? It was great. Why am I always fantastic? Why am I always great? Well, why would I be anything other than that? What's my other option? Sad? Right? Feeling down? I mean, I could choose that, but what is that going to accomplish? I can promise you, nobody ever accomplished anything being negative. Not once. Nothing ever got resolved by being negative. Ever. And you have the choice. Now, how do you do that? Maybe you wake up in the morning and you stub your toe and the day starts to spiral immediately as soon as you get out of bed. Then just stop for a minute. Stop. Right? Stop find something, turn some music on. Dance around your bedroom in your underwear for a minute. Okay? Do something to make yourself feel happy. And then go attack the day again. Okay? Don't ever let the day control you. You control your day. You control your attitude. You control your mood and choose to be happy. So guys, that's my training for you guys here tonight. I'd like to open it up for anybody that has any questions, comments, anything at all. Hopefully you got some good goals down, some good foundations, and now you'll take this and run with it. And I will just tell you, if you will do the things that I went through here tonight, right? If you will discipline yourself, create these habits that I just gave you, man, you're going to be blown away at where you're going to be by the end of this year. So anybody comments? I saw a chat there. Krista said fire. Thank you so much, Krista, for that. Joel, go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank you for taking the time out, on today, on the first of the year. And thank you for reminding me of, I've done a lot of goal setting, but some of the things you've put in have really opened my mind to doing things a little differently and really opening to it. And I'll just leave you, I'm going to go back to my company, but I was watching a movie earlier today, and there's a great line, and it's by the gentleman who really invented the first computer. I don't know if you remember The Imitation Game, how they broke the code in World War II. And I think that sometimes it's people who no one imagines anything of, who do the things that no one can imagine. And you can't do without a goal. He had an incredible goal to achieve that. And he had it, so I just want to thank you for your time and for doing this for everybody.
It's my pleasure, man. I thank you for your time and joining and having enough faith in me that you thought it would be enough value to be here tonight. So thank you for that. Brian, do you have something?
Yeah, I just want to share that if anybody's looking for a way to start meditating, the Calm app, one of the features of it is a daily meditation. And right now it's half price. It's $35 for the year. So, I mean, it's a great deal. If you've never meditated before and you want to get started and you just want a roadmap to do it, you know, you don't know where to begin. That's one option to consider.
Absolutely.
I also
Anything you can
use
do
the
to-
Calm app. I use the Calm app too, and I'm going to post on my Facebook page a free 30-day trial. I don't get a thing out of it. I'm already a lifetime member of Calm. That's how much I believe in it. So I'm going to post that on my Facebook page, and I think I get 4 of those to give away, and anybody can come and claim those.
Awesome.
Yeah. Also,
Anything you can do to support that is good. But guys, really simplify the meditation by really imagining the feeling of what it's like when you accomplish that goal. I mean, I'm just telling you that it's going to help you more than you can even know. So good stuff.
I wanted to share one more thing.
Sure.
I am so excited. I kicked death's ass 4 times this year. 4 times. And I'm going to be turning 60 this year. And they told me in 2005 I had 2 more years to live. I am still here. I'm still spreading the message of help and how to help people. I'm looking forward to maybe monetizing that and getting something out of it other than my satisfaction. But I'm just so excited. I'm not supposed to be here. It's all bonus at this point. So I'm just thrilled. I'm going to be 60. I never thought I would get to 60.
And you look marvelous, darling. Marvelous.
Thank you, darling.
Sounds like a book. Sounds like a book coming, guys, just so you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, Matt, did you have something?
Yeah, I was just wondering how we could access the recording of this.
I will post the recording. I'll probably grab it and move it to a YouTube link. And that way we can just have it and available to share with anybody that we want.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
Oh, and Elizabeth, 60 is the new 40, by the way.
Good to know. Good to know.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I wanted to try and keep this an hour or less, so it went a little bit longer than I wanted. Again, I know your time is valuable, but I really hope that we put some real value in the time that you spent with us here tonight. This is your year. You know, I've been thinking in the little phrases, what rhymes with 2023. Here's the bottom line for me is it's all up to me in 2023. I'm either going to do what it's going to take to get there or I'm not. And I'm going to take 100% personal responsibility for that. So with that, guys, Happy New Year. Go and grow, work on them goals, get them recorded, post them things everywhere, and you know, set your habits up in the mornings and just give it 1 year. Give it a year. Heck, if you can't make that commitment, give it 90 days. Can't make that commitment, give it 30 days. Okay? Give it some time and watch what happens. Happy New Year. Let's go and grow. Stay focused, feel good, and bye-bye for now.
Thanks, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.